dynamics.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the latest cues from the D Street, starting from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing the most in trade. We'll also focus on where are the opportunities emerging for you as an equity investor. We'll get you expert views on that, but first up, a quick check on how the markets are doing at this point in time. Well, after showing some upticks in the markets yesterday after the RBI monetary policy, there was profit booking definitely seen on the index, and that continues to be the scene even today. We are seeing an absolutely flat with a negative bias move on the benchmarks. The Nifty hovering at 18,629 with just a 6 point of a cut right now. The Sensex also hovering about 13 points lower in trade at 62,833. Absolutely flat in trade. Let's look at how the broader markets are in fact shaping up. They're still doing better, holding up into the green zone now for both the mid caps and the small cap indices. But amidst the other sectoral indices of the Nifty as well, you will be able to spot that it's a mixed reaction that the markets are looking at. The Nifty Bank is inching high, about 0.5% up in trade on the back of movement that you're seeing on the private banks front. That's the ones that's leading the show. But apart from that, you look at sectors like defensive like FMCG or IT, for example, both are actually hovering near the day's low point. We are also seeing the PSU banks lower in trade, not really participating in the move. Pharma is down in trade as well. We're also seeing some cuts coming in on the consumer durable space too. Was actually, in fact, in the metal space also, you're seeing some cuts coming in. Apart from this, where are the gains coming in the markets are clearly the banks, like I said, the private banks and the realty pack. That's showing some move on the upside in today's trading action. Healthcare index are far and few between stocks up in the green zone. And apart from that, the financial services space is also moving up. The Nifty gainers on your screens, most of them are from the banking space. IndusInd Bank, Axis Bank, also from the cement pack. Grasim is moving up 1.5% in trade. You look at L&T from the infra pack, SBI Life from the life insurance space as well. Adani Enterprises stock again back in action today. Ultratech, Tata Motors, Bajaj Finance, the other movers in today's trade. On the laggard space, if you look at the kind of other stocks that are being seen, Tata Steel, HUL, HDFC Life, the other stocks that are lagging 1.5% lower in trade. SBI, Divis Laboratories, Infosys, all of them down in trade in today's trading action as well. M&M, ONGC, and Eicher Motors, the other laggards too. But time to welcome our guest on the show. Kranti Batini joins in from Wealth Mill Securities. Welcome, sir, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Well, first up, I wanted to understand from you, we are towards the week's close. We've already had the big bang events like the RBI policy that actually came out with the policy that was much anticipated. No movement on the rates this time around. But what goes ahead from here? Which are the triggers that will move the markets from here?
Yeah, always the Fed action is extremely crucial for the market directions. Actually, we need to wait and watch how the Fed is going to move its statements is extremely important. Whether Fed is going to maintain the status quo this time, or how many points they are going to move the rate. Whether it's we don't expect any rate cut immediately, but the direction from the Fed is extremely crucial, and also how many points the Fed is going to increase the rates in case if they are increasing the rate. So these are the points where the market is completely waiting on right now. And for the market, one is domestic earnings season is extremely good that help the market to sustain. And also we have seen good and exuberant commentary that has came from different the global broking houses, research houses, help the market to sustain in this territory, in a very positive territory. And the global cues also certainly help the market to sustain at these levels, actually.
All right. Kranti, I wanted to also understand from you which are the pockets that you're getting more bullish on in the second half of the year. Which are the sectors that are actually going to take a lead? Because, off late in the last 1 to 2 months odd, we've actually seen a lot of sectoral rotation really take place. Of course, in the first initial period of the first half of this year, we actually saw the banks taking the lead. Then it was the autos that actually took the lead as well. FMCG stocks started to move as well. In the second half, which are the sectors that you believe are going to really take the lead and outperform?
Absolutely, Sakshi. You said rightly the leadership rotation that is extremely crucial for the bull markets. So that leadership rotation only taking the uh, uh, all the indices in a positive territory, and Nifty could able to sustain above 18,500 level. Going ahead, still we remain bullish on banking and financial services, going to be the outperforming sectors. Uh, and also we need to take into consideration going ahead IT, which was a laggard, but IT can take the lead because the valuations at IT looks attractive. IT can take the lead from this point of time. And also oil and gas is also a laggard sector, but valuations looks attractive. But we mainly focus on banking and financial services, and IT is a sector going ahead. And one of the important sector what we can discuss is the infrastructure sector is concerned. And going ahead, the infrastructure also can take the lead for the market.
Okay, I wanted to actually come on the metals pack as well. This index has shown some kind of movement in this week, about 3.5% of a move on the upside for the metals pack. Is there anything constructive happening in this space? It has been an underperformer for a long time. Definitely, most of the analysts have actually avoided getting into this space for the large part of this calendar year so far. In the second half, are things looking up with the way the macros are taking shape?
The one thing is, Sashi, with respect to the metals indices is concerned. Last year, if you see the trailing 12 months, Nifty was up by around 12%, and metal index also by and large up by 12%. So in line with the market performance, metal index has been performing. Going ahead, the major trigger for the metal stocks, the domestic stocks to perform is extremely crucial. What we need to look forward is the domestic demand. As I mentioned to you, the infrastructure activity in the domestic economy that's playing a key role. So we can see the demand that's coming from the domestic economy that's extremely crucial for the metal stocks to outperform. But overall performance is concerned, it also depends upon the global growth that is extremely crucial for the metal stock to shine further. Couple of quarters back, we were discussing about the super cycle in metal, but the super cycle has fizzled out. But coming to the domestic nature of the metal stocks is concerned, they are cyclical in nature. Right now, there is an uptick in the capex cycle, and also the infrastructure spending has been going up. The government's emphasis on infrastructure and also the construction sector also booming up in India. So these are the major triggers that will lead the metal pack to shine right now. But for me, outshining is a outshining. We need to wait and watch because the global cues are extremely crucial for the metals to outshine immediately.
Okay. Any particular stocks from this basket that you still believe may have a better performance going forward than the rest of them and should be on investors' radar in case they are enthusiastic about the space?
One can focus on the domestic focused industries. Right now, as one positive trigger we can expect for the metal stocks is US might uh, decrease the tariffs for the export of Indian metal companies are concerned. So that can be a positive trigger for the Indian metal companies. But if you precise ask me the stock specific, it can be JSW Steel. One can accumulate at every dip, and also Tata Steel. One can accumulate for a longer term perspective.
Okay, understood that as well. Let's come to some of the stocks that are buzzing the most in trade, Mr. Batini. I wanted to understand from you one from the small cap basket, Suzlon Energy, for example. This stock has had so much run up in a month's time. I mean, 64%. Suddenly a sharp move coming in on this stock. Is this a stock worth considering the past has been very, very volatile? It has both been a wealth constructor and a wealth destructor for a lot of investors. Investors' money has been stuck for years in a row as well in this stock. Suddenly, we've been seeing news flows coming in on the wind power space for this company, and that perhaps is leading to this momentum. But does it really warrant a long-term fundamental look at this stock?
Actually, one thing is whenever the market at a high uh, zone at 18,500, we see what we witness is the stocks like Switzerland's of the world tend to outperform because of the excessive exuberance and euphoria in the market. But coming to the stock specific nature of Switzerland is concerned, of course, you rightly mentioned there is some kind of positivity that is emerging with respect to their line of business. That is, more focus is given to the alternative energy and wind energy, where the Switzerland takes the lead. But coming to the business fundamentals, the sector is in a shining space right now. It's in a sweet spot. But the Switzerland, the exit of the demise, sudden demise of Tulsi Tantri
Yeah,
has been a uh, uh, serious loss for the company. Right now,
sure.
the existing leadership can lead this company. These are the questions investors have, and they have also a lot of debt. How they are going to address this debt is extremely crucial. But what I can suggest for the investors is, yeah, these are the stocks suitable for the traders and investors who can take extreme risk, not for a risk averse investor. So, and these stocks are momentum in always, Sakshi. Okay, if the momentum fizzled out, you don't see any outperformance in these stocks. So these are high beta ones. Okay, probably you can use the investor or trader can use for a short term trading, but serious long term investment, definitely I would say no. One can play with the momentum at this point of
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Another stock that's again in focus is a stock which is from a power space, IEX. I wanted to talk about. Now, the shares have been under pressure of late. In fact, 23% they have tumbled in just the last two trading sessions. What is behind this fall, and how should one look at this stock? Because this has also been in the past one of the most preferred stocks from most of the analysts as well. But what suddenly is happening in this space?
Yeah, it was a buzzing stock, Sakshi, and it was the favorite of the market. If you see past 16, 17 months, and everybody were lapping up the stock in their portfolio. But one thing uh, the investor uh, need to learn from this saga, Sakshi, even though the stock is fundamentally a strong company, but the valuations are excess of their fundamentals. The valuations are stretched, and PE
Got it.
multiples are always stretched for this company, and the company has given a bonus uh, issue most recently. But one thing investors need to always keep in mind is always highly popular and highly valued stocks. Okay, cannot turn immediately as the wealth generators. Okay, the rally can be fizzled out, and the rally can be the sustainability of those price earnings is crucial for these kind of stocks. Of course, last few days the negativity is there, and the company has given a clarification today. But still, the valuations look stretched for this IEX is concerned. But they are in a right space. The energy exchange is a very interesting business to look forward. Uh, but at these valuations, one can hold on to that stock at this point of time, actually.
Okay, understood that too. Apart from this, another stock that I wanted to discuss was SpiceJet. The stock, after showing some kind of declines, is back in favor today after the company has announced inducting of 10 narrow body Boeing 737 aircraft beginning September of 2023. Can it get a fresh lifeline going for the company and an upsurge for the stock right now, or is it still likely to be in an uncertain zone going forward too?
SpiceJet always turbulent in terms of the stock price movement is concerned, actually. Of course, the strong business model, but due to the high debt of the company, always the stock get into some kind of turbulence always. So
Yeah.
to journey in terms of the price of SpiceJet is concerned, okay, still again the valuations look attractive for SpiceJet, but they're losing their market leadership in the aviation space. That's what concerns me always for SpiceJet. But given the kind of the momentum in the travel and tourism industry is concerned, and as they are inducting the new fleet into the fleet of planes into their routes, so we can expect some kind of momentum in the stock going ahead. The valuations looks attractive, but for the high risk appetite investors and traders, one can consider SpiceJet at this price range because the stock has corrected from more than 150 rupees to this range. So the valuations looks attractive, and given the momentum in uh, the space, the sector, the is concerned, one can take the position in SpiceJet.
Okay, understood that. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Batini, for being with us on the show and discussing the strategies for all these stocks and overall sectoral preferences for all our viewers. Where are the opportunities existing in this current market setup? Many thanks. Always a pleasure having you with us on Business Today TV. Let's again look at the markets as well. About 60 points of a decline for the Sensex currently. So the markets are subdued today. You're looking at a 62,788 kind of a level. 18,616 currently on the Nifty as well. But will we shut shop in a negative zone, or will we see a bounce back in the second half of trading action, especially the 3 p.m. factor? That I keep telling all our viewers that that's where you usually see a twist in trade as well. So do keep in mind. We will also continue to track the market movement for you, and you can do the same by being with us on Business Today TV. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel and continue to engage with us on our other social media platforms as well. Until then, many thanks for tuning in.
Domestic macroeconomic fundamentals are strengthening. Economic activity is exhibiting resilience. Inflation has moderated. The current account deficit has narrowed, and foreign exchange reserves are comfortable. Fiscal consolidation is also ongoing. The Indian banking system remains stable and resilient. Credit growth is robust, and domestic financial markets have evolved in an orderly manner. Let me now turn to the decisions and deliberations of the Monetary Policy Committee. As many of you would be aware,